guys, you're watching the Field Gamers channel, and in today's video I am doing an interior design segment where I am going to be doing, as you can tell by the title of this video, some Egyptian bedroom designs. I've already done some regular modern bedrooms, I've done some regular bedrooms that aren't modern, and now I've decided to do a little bit of a twist by adding an actual theme to my rooms. So hopefully in the future I'll be able to do other themes. I thought about doing maybe some Roman designs, some Greek, anything I can really think of. If you have any ideas for themes I can use for my interior design rooms that I'm going to be doing, then leave your comments in the description, and if I use one of your designs that I haven't thought of myself, then I'll mention your name in one of my future videos. So let's go ahead and get started with Egyptian room number 1. So here is Egyptian room number 1. And just by looking at it at a first glance, you can definitely tell that Egyptian colors were used. For those of you who don't know, Egyptian colors usually consist of blue, reddish orange colors, the yellow color, and then a lot of neutral colors like this one right here. The colors in between the yellow. And then, yeah, a lot of neutral colors that combine with those really make that Egyptian look and that Egyptian feel. Obviously, this sandy color, sandstone for this texture pack, or for most texture packs, is going to work really well for any Egyptian design. And then in the new update that they had, I used a lot of their clay blocks because their clay blocks add a lot more color than the wool blocks offer in this game, and they have a lot more variety of colors. So as you can see, I used a lot of these clay blocks and they work perfectly for Egyptian colors. And yeah, for the majority of this room I used a lot of those clay blocks. So let's go ahead and talk about this room real quick. I started with this bed and then added this little wall design behind the bed just to add some Egyptian color to it. This whole bed is just made of blocks and the new carpet that they used, and then new update, and that's just supposed to be like a pillow. I added 2 tables on the side with a dried out plant, which is just supposed to kind of give an Egyptian feel because everything is more dried out, obviously, in Egypt. So that's kind of supposed to help give you that idea that you're in Egypt, an Egyptian setting. Added these 2 pictures on both sides. They kind of look Egyptian from a distance, but they're actually not Egyptian, but it really doesn't matter. And then for this wall, I added these windows to add some light, used the blue borders to add more Egyptian colors, and just to kind of make it pop and make that wall stand out a little bit. And then right here, we have the emphasis of the room. I put a chest, and the chest is actually located within the wall. So just to add a little bit more depth and space in the room, I kind of made these go in. And then also to add a little bit of emphasis, I added the chest there, put some plants next to it. Use the vines on the side so that you actually center on the very center of this area, because the vines you tend to not want to look at because it's just kind of difficult to see because of all the details with the leaves. So your eye goes right to the center right here, and I think that really works well with this. And then for the ceiling, I just used these cool blocks also in the new update. And then in a lot of the older ancient Egyptian buildings, to light their rooms they would use holes in their ceilings. So in a lot of these room designs you'll see that for the lighting in the rooms I just use glass windows on the ceiling, and that's basically what floods the room with light. So you'll see that in my next video, or not my next video, my next designs as well. So let's go ahead and move on to room design number 2. Here is our second Egyptian room design, and just like I just said, the ceiling uses these holes, and that basically floods the room with light perfectly. I literally don't have any sort of lighting in this room, so the sun's actually doing all the lighting for me. So again, you'll see that in a lot of my, all 4 of my designs that I've done. So again, I started with the bed. I made this one a lot wider just so that it would be centered in the room. I usually don't like to make my beds this wide. So when you're dimensioning your room, make sure you plan ahead. Obviously I didn't plan ahead so that when you make your bed it can be centered the way you want it to be. So in this situation I wanted it to be 4 blocks wide, but to be centered I had to make it 5 because it was an odd number. So unfortunately it still looks good. There's really nothing wrong with it. In fact, maybe in this situation it kind of looks better being wider like that. And to add emphasis to the bed, I added this giant backboard, which I kind of saw in an image on Google. I saw a bed, Egyptian beds with this giant gold backboard, so I kind of tried to incorporate something very similar right here. And then, and also, yeah, the gold just kind of makes the room look a little bit more richer. So it kind of makes the room look like it's owned by a wealthier person. Maybe this is a very wealthy Egyptian room. And then for the walls, I used these sandstone, but for the most part, I use these clay blocks again from the new update. And I do like this color right here, not the sandstone, but this color right here. It's a neutral color, and it's kind of a sandy-ish. I think it goes really well with the the yellow colors and the orangish red colors that go with the Egyptian feel. It's just a neutral color that blends really well. Also, this dark brown color also works really well as a neutral color with the Egyptian colors. And just from seeing this at a distance, it really works well, and I really do like this room for that reason. And then just to kind of fill in the space, I added an end table right here with a similar plant from my last room. This is supposed to be like a a dresser or a drawer, maybe something that you would put your clothes in, maybe a kind of like a TV stand, but obviously not a TV stand because a TV stand wouldn't be to the side of your bed. That'd be really awkward. But it's just supposed to be for like a clothing. So if you could imagine if it opened up, that would be where your clothes were. Added some plants on the top just to add a little bit more detail in the room, and then added 2 pieces of furniture because with some of these bigger rooms, it's nice to have furniture in your bedroom, especially if you're making your master bedroom, which in most cases I'm always designing the master bedroom, because when you're designing your house, you're going to design yourself the master bedroom, obviously. So I used just a regular couch right here with the yellow Egyptian color, and then I used this actually Egyptian styled couches. This is actually in ancient Egypt. This is what the couches looked like. They didn't have 2 armrests. They only had the 1 armrest, and they basically laid down as they ate, or as they vegged, or as they had their servants come to them. So this was kind of like a piece of furniture that the ancient wealthier Egyptians had, and it kind of makes it look even more Egyptian than it already does by adding that into this room. So keep that in mind when you're making Egyptian rooms. If you want to make Egyptian rooms like this, use furniture like this, and it'll definitely help make the room look a little bit more Egyptian. So let's go ahead and move on to room number 3. Alright, so here is room number 3. Again, the ceiling, same thing. I have done a different pattern with the ceiling. If you haven't noticed, I'm not making it the same for each design. I want it to look a little different for each design. So make sure you're paying attention to the small details in each room, because although I keep similar ideas, I incorporate them a little differently in the way I design them. So here it's just kind of like an evenly spaced checkered design for the roof, so that all the light comes in really well. And then for the floor, just use the brown color. And then I made this like a checkered tile rug. I didn't actually use the rugs in Minecraft. I used the clay blocks and the sand blocks. I like that combination a lot better. Made it look like a rug. Does the same thing really. And then for the walls, I copied this pattern right here. The main color of the wall is just this neutral color, this neutral clay color. And then on each of the wall, there's a centered design, which you can see right here. And I'll go ahead and use this one to look at. And it's just 2 columns on both sides of blue, and then kind of like this arch of Egyptian blue and yellow colors, and then filled in with the hieroglyphic chiseled sand block. So, and I basically just copied that on each wall so that it was symmetrical in terms of the wall. And then for the bed, the whole bed is made of sandstone, all half slabs for the most part, I think. And then for the center of the bed, the half slabs surround the bed. I just used the same neutral color that I used on the wall, so that the bed kind of blends in with the wall a little bit. Kind of liked it. That's kind of basically what I was going for. Use these coal blocks as the backboard of this bed, and then yeah, this is just the top of the bed. I made it look like a canopy, just to kind of make it look a little bit more of an intense bed. So in this room, the bed is like the main focal point. Like that's where all the emphasis is because of how big the bed is. And that's kind of what I was going for. And then on both sides of the bed, I added these tables with these skulls, just to kind of make it look a little bit more ancient. Yeah, I mean these are the these aren't the regular skeleton skulls. These are the ones from the Nether. I don't know. I just thought it kind of looked good because it kind of goes with like the mummification and you know, the ancient feel of the Egypt design. So, and then the last thing I did is I just added, this wall was too plain. I didn't want to add any more furniture. I added this, you know, same similar design from that other couch I showed you, except it's sticking out a little more. I kind of like this one a little better. It kind of adds more of a modern touch to it. But for this wall, I didn't want to add another piece of furniture, so I just added this chest on the ground, put 2 plants on it. And even though you know, it's just a chest sitting on the ground, a lot of Egyptian designs have these chests just sitting on the ground like that. So let's go ahead and move on to number 4. This is the 4th and final Egyptian design that I decided to do. I started with the floor, just added the neutral color, then built the walls around it. And in this case, I didn't add a lot of detail to the wall. I just used a solid color on this half of the room, the solid yellow color, the clay yellow color, and then I used the just a regular sandstone on this side of the wall. And what I did for this room, a lot of my rooms, I make a square and then I make the room. But what I need to start doing is I need to actually start adding shape to my rooms, because when you're building your houses, if you're building some sort of really cool house, your rooms are not all going to be square. So for this one, I kind of made it like a little bit of an L shaped, not a whole lot of L, but I did add this wall here and extended it back just 2 blocks, just to kind of add a little bit of shape to the room. Hopefully in my future design videos or interior design videos, I can add more of those different shaped rooms so that you can get more of an idea of what you can also do with shape and not just the, you know, furniture arrangement. So we'll get more into the architectural point of designing a room as well. So for the bed, I really do like this bed. I used the coal blocks, and in this texture pack, the coal blocks actually look like they're some sort of bed fabric. So it's a coal block, which doesn't make sense for a bed, but it doesn't look like a coal block. It looks like some sort of really cool designed fabric for your bed cover. So that's kind of why I used it. I used these snow blocks for the pillows for the bed, and then, you know, I just added these 2 pillars just to kind of add emphasis to the bed. Put a tree here. Honestly, the room wasn't big enough to add a giant tree, but I did want to add some sort of foliage to the room other than just a small plant. So I did add this tree. Now, honestly, I think it does look pretty good. Let's see, what else did I do? I used the note blocks, made a dresser looking figure. When you do the note blocks, it kind of just adds texture to the dresser, so it doesn't, you know, blend in with the wall like everything else does. I added the stand right here, just added a plant, another stand right here, added a skull, and that's a skeleton skull, and then I just added some shelving. So I just kind of filled up the room accordingly so it didn't look too plain. And then for the ceiling, this is actually my favorite ceiling design. In this one, it's actually corner by corner by corner checkered pattern, and it's centered into the rectangular part of the room. So this actual L-shaped extension right here is just flat. So that is the last design that I have. Those are the 4 that I came up with. I do want to do more designs like this where I add a theme. So again, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you have any cool theme ideas, like I know I'm going to do Roman and probably some Greek designs, so don't say those 2 because those are my ideas that I'm already going to do. But if you have any other original theme designs that you want me to try to do with some room designs, let me know in the description. Literally any theme will do, and if I like it, I'll use it and I'll mention your name in one of my future videos. So thank you guys for watching this. I really had fun with doing these room designs. I really, you know, I want to be able to do more room designs like this because my new major now is interior design technology, so it's really nice to use what I'm learning in my classes and some of my Minecraft YouTube videos. So again, thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do so. I'll see you guys later.